Hello, this is teddygaming and welcome back to another review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tmnt, the Lost Ronin Lost Days special. And yeah, so this one's gonna be pretty interesting just because this is a one-shot set in the Ronin verse. And yeah, so let's get into this one. Let's go. My name is April Jones O'Neill. I was once lost, now I'm found. Okay, I admit that's a bit overdramatic. Makes it sound all kinds of religious, and other than a few visits to Sunday school when I was a kid, religion, like many other man-made instruments designed to control the masses, has never been my thing. I say man-made, to point out there are also things that are not made or controlled by men. Mysterious wonders I witnessed with my own senses that defy human explanation. Bizarre things that have made me a believer in something far greater and far more powerful than I'll ever hope to understand. And if everyone ever tells you they do understand, saint or sinner, scientist, priest, or politician, the only thing you can be sure of is that they're lying through their teeth, to you and to themselves. Then again, what do I know? I'm just an old science nerd, grist jockey with a bad caffeine habitat. More like coachy old woman on a soapbox. Sure, lady. Anyway, I'll save April's philosophy of the universe for later. For now, I'm just going to keep things down to earth and stick to my life in this city, New York City. Home sweet home. I lived my entire life in the good old Big Apple, 6+ decades and counting. And as far as back as I can remember, since the day when it was just my mum and me together, I loved this place. In that time, I've seen it all stand tall, and I've seen it fall. And like a punch-drunk boxer who refused to quit, I watched it struggle back to its feet, to stand proud and tall once again. And in its own strange way, New York has loved me back. Years before I lose my wonderful mum to cancer far too soon, the city made sure I wouldn't be alone, giving me a new amazing family to share a new amazing life with. Time and time again, we fought like hell to save a city that brought us together. As the years passed, just like New York, we would stand. And we would fall, and just like the city my friends and I fought and bled for when all seemed lost for me. I found a way to get back on my feet, to stand tall, and this crazy mystery metropolis made sure I still had a home to return to, where I wouldn't be alone. And I'm happy to say, all these years later, that hasn't changed. Leave me alone. Hey, what's all this yelling this early, Mojo? It's just, I found this old box of cool cassettes tapes and I'm trying to check them out, but Uno won't quit bothering me. Not true, I'm not bothering her, I just wanted to do some kendo training and she's the only one that can almost keep up with me. I thought your sensei cancelled training for today. She did grammar. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we still can't do it on our own. Tell you what, Darth Maul. Instead of kendo, why don't you take that endless energy of yours and go do, I don't know, 100 push-ups or something? Push-ups. Good idea. Thanks, Grandma. No problem, kiddo. Let's see what we got here. Devu Thomas, Doubly Rush. Hey, looks like you found Donnie's old stash. You're playing all wrong. Okay, what's going on over here? I'm trying to teach Odin how to play chess, Grammy. But he keeps grabbing both our knights and making them race each other. They're not racing ye, they're doing gallops together. But galloping's not in the rules, they're supposed to be in battle. She's not wrong, baby. The black and white pieces are on opposite sides. But I don't want them on different sides, Grammy. It's more fun when they're friends. Honestly can't argue with that. You know what, ye? The coffee maker's been on the fritz again. Why don't you go grab your tools and see if you can get it running right for Grammy, yeah? Okay, I'll make it even better than before, Grammy April. Good girl. This looks ridiculous. There's no way I'm going out looking like this. I'm calling the whole thing off. Wait, why are you going at me like that? It's not funny, Mum. I'm sorry, Case, but it kinda is. I thought you said Joro was taking you out on a casual date, not to the prom. I did, he is. I just got no clue what was supposed to wear. Obviously. Come on, let's go see if we can reverse engineer this mess. I thought Sensei looked nice for her hero. Jiro dude, sheesh. Yeah, but Jiro's a policeman, so Odin's alright. He is kind of a hero. You're wasting your time, Mum. I ain't going. Yes, you are, Case. Quit being a baby, and quit overthinking things. I really don't think Joro's the kind of guy who expects you to dress up to impress him. What do you mean? I mean, he asked you out after working with you on a couple of security missions, right? Yeah, so he knows who you are and what you really are, and he was obviously already impressed. Look, your dad and I were about different as two people can be, but that never stopped us from loving each other. We never pretended to be anything but who we were, and I really believe that's why we always worked so well together. This is just your first date with Joro, hun. Who knows where things will go from here, but do yourself a favour, be yourself from the start. And always. How's that coffee maker coming along, kiddo? Almost done, Grammy April. It's going to make your yucky coffee so hot. Okay, I think I'm ready now. There's my girl. Wow, Sensei, you look pretty. Thanks, Odin. You sure this is okay, Mum? I know today's your normal black market run. I can stay with the kids if you don't want to skip it. Forget it, Casey. I got the rascals. You go be young, okay? Thanks, Mum. You bet. I met Sensei, Casey. Dude, she's been gone like 5 seconds. Don't worry about her, Odin. Go grab your gear. All of you. We got work to do. What work, Grammy? Black market work, kiddo. We got an important run to make. But didn't you tell Sensei you were staying to watch us? Just a little white lie. I didn't want to ruin her date. Now hustle up. We have a big day ahead of us. And it was a big day. But before I get into that, let me tell you about New York's black market. The first thing to understand is that black market commence is built on battering, and battering's been going on in this country from the very beginning. But what started out as a good for goods or good for service or vice versa became permanently a cash-based endeavour over time. Money ruled all. But when that fascist Oroku and Foot Clan took full control of New York City, currency exchange was replaced by an insanely strict digital-based social credit system. And it wasn't long before those of us in resistance found buying and selling goods and or services to be nearly impossible. Turns out having a mind of your own and saying not to kill the man will kill social credit score real fast. Which meant the resistance had to turn to ulterior methods to get what we needed to survive. Pretty soon social credit were replaced by good old fashioned battering, and when a subterranean black market was born, and nobody was better at coordinating that particular market than Tinker Smith SR. Like me, Smith was a single parent raising his only child, a daughter named Tinker Smith 2, whom everyone called Tinker 2, in Rocket Bottom. But while I was spending most of my time with my kid running an underground rebel army, Smith was building a virtual shopping mall in City Barrels. Yet even with all he had hoarded over the years, there were things still he needed, usually stuff to please the daughter he loved more than anything else, so there were always mutually beneficial deals to be made, supply and demand at its finest. Sadly, the flood was near destroyed Smith's black market compound, killing poor Tinker Sr., leaving behind Tinker 2 to run what was left of his once massive store. A slightly insane Tinker 2, that is, who to this day holds some animosity towards me for her father's tragic death. And yet the black market goes on, and as always, Tinker 2 was our first stop. Okay kids, here we are, stay close to Grammy. Tinker 2's harmless, just a bit unpredictable. Why she called Tinker 2 Grammy is because her father was Tinker Smith, SR, Moja, which makes Tinker his junior, or his second. Oh, I get it. So I guess that means Sensei's Casey's a junior too, huh? Yep, named her after her dad, but I wouldn't call her number 2 if I were you. Who's this there? It's me, Tinker. Who's this me? Come on, I know you can see me. It's April. Wait, you said me, but I'm seeing an us out there who is with you. Just my grandbabies. Grandbabies? This I gotta see. Whoa, this place is gross. No, Moja, look at all this cool stuff. Just don't touch anything, ye, unless you want all the coolness crushing down on our heads. Grandkids, huh? Well, Casey, marry lizard or what? They're not lizards, Tinker, they're turtles. This is Odin, Yi, Moja, and Uno. Kids, this is Tinker 2. Uno, huh? Guess you can call me Tinker Doos. Ha! What? That was funny? So, not lizards, turtles. I asked the obvious question, but I'm pretty sure I figured out the answer already. I mean, everyone knows how much you like playing God April, creating things and killing them. Come on, Tinker. The kids don't need to hear this. You know how sorry I am about what happened to your dad. Yeah, you didn't mean for it to happen. Unfortunate casualties of war, blah 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 blah. At least I still have a Grand Kingdom dear old Pop built before he became collateral damage, hey? It's like the coolest place in the world. I couldn't agree more, kid. So, you bring what I asked for? Yep, got it right here. VHS. Just as you requested. Oh wow, I can't believe I actually had this. Whoa, Tommy boy, that's a good one. Good is the best. My dad and I used to watch it all the time before your grandma's stupid foot flood washed him and our only copy into the East River. That guy in little coat. That guy in little coat. Whoa. Next name with fatty tinky? That word a little bit sensitive for Odin. So wait, who's calling you fat, fella? Sometimes Uno does. Well, he's wrong, cause you look like a cuddly little tank to me. Tinky said I'm cuddly, Uno. Whatever, dude. Okay, Tinker, you got your movie, let's make our trade. Yeah. Always in a hurry, I swear. I'm just letting you know now, this thing is pretty dang sensitive. Handle with care. The water pump. Okay, deal's done. Movie time. You want to stick around and watch it with me, kid? Yeah. No. We still got more stops to make, and not a lot of time to make them. Good doing business with you, Tinker. It's my job, right? Now, if you don't mind, I got a classic flick to watch. All by myself. Eccentric as she can be, I once hated to bail on Tinker like that. I mean, if anyone knows how much it sucks to be alone on the ground, it's me, and how heartbreaking it is to lose a beloved parent too soon, for that matter. But I wasn't lying, the kids and I still had a lot to do that day, and the clock was ticking. We were going to have to hustle to get to our final destination, and then back home to the lair before Casey returned from her date. I didn't exactly ask Sensei Jones for permission to take her niece students on a field trip. Tough and independent as my kid was when she was younger, she turned into a serious, hyper-protective helicopter mum. It was a miracle that she even let her little turtles long enough to go on a date, and the last thing I wanted was to have her stressing out about them while she was finally taking some time for herself. Of course, if I knew what was going to happen next, I might have rethought the whole outgoing from the start. Leave it to the Purple Dragons to throw a monkey wrench into the works. And really, I shouldn't be surprised. The Purple Dragons have been a thorn in my family's side for as long as I can remember. Even before Foot rose to power in the city, before the Shredder and Karai and Hiroto, the Dragons have been in the middle of everything, stirring things up, usually for the worse, but not always. After Wrath was killed, and the truce with the Foot with him, my Splinter knew it was only a matter of time before an all-out war for control of the city overtook the streets. Without doubt, the Foot had the advantage in resources and overall numbers, so Splinter formed Splinter's Strikers, turning his small ninja clan into a genuine military-style charade. A charade that needed more street soldiers if there was going to be any chance of matching the Foot clan. My Splinter knew this, and so did the thugs in charge of the Foot clan. Strange giants make for strange bedfellows, the enemy of my enemy, and all that jazz. But when Hiroto was finally defeated and the Foot fell, the unexpected alliance unexpectedly came to an end. The Purple Dragons returned to their old ways, and now years later, they got a new dangerous leader in charge. As for the kids and I were just about to find out. Okay, listen up. We're gonna head above ground for a little bit, so mask on. I know this is a first for all of you, so just follow my lead. And don't be scared. Okay. No problem. Let me guess. Not your first time. It's just... Nope, stop right there. You can tell me all about that later when we have more time. Good thing is now I know you little rascals can keep a secret. Like the one about what we're going to do today without your sensei's permission. Right, kids? Right, Grammy. And if you've been up here before, you'll know what to expect. Looky what we got here. A bunch of sewer rats popping for a surprise visit. Don't you mean popping up, Chachi? Easy. We're just here for black market business. Scuzzballs know we're coming. Scuzzballs ain't in charge no more, and these four don't look like rats to me, more like slimy little sewer brats. Ninja, you hear that, Bonzo? Hear what, Macho? Looks like we got some ninjas visiting us. More like sneaking up on us. I heard about ninjas before. Word on the street is the resistance had them fighting on their side back in the day. Wait, we're not here to fight. Just no matter, that's all. And we're just supposed to believe you? Probably more of them hiding in the sewer, I'll bet. Yep, ugh, you're right. What the? Get him! Stop, he didn't. Uno! Rah! Ugh! Stupid freaks, I'm gonna. Ugh. No. That's not how this was supposed to go. No, it wasn't. If it was, my guys wouldn't have been whooped by a bunch of ninja toddlers and a geotratic gimp. No offense. You, no Mojo, stand down. Just go to show you can teach these mooks how to set up a proper security perimeter, but the whole soldier discipline part, that goes with another story. Sorry boss, you will be if you don't get out of my sight pronto. Speaking of soldiers discipline, where's my manners? Name's Jigsaw, ma'am. Just Jigsaw. April J. Jones? O'Neill? Yep. Know all about you, Miss Jones, and your daughter. If I don't know better, I'll say you've been spying on us. Nothing that's intrusive, man. Your reputation simply precedes you, is all, and a good soldier that takes in his intel whenever he can get it. Go admit though, these little ninjas are new to me. But I do know there's precedent for such scrappers in this town. Guess it's true what they say. History repeats. You mentioned soldiering a lot. You're military? I am, Batman. 3 combat tours overseas before I was discharged. Honourably? Honourable enough for me. Now, if you'll kindly follow along. I believe we have some friendly comments to conduct. Wow, this place looks like a lot cleaner than last time I saw it. Like I said, military discipline. If a soldier can't keep his barracks squared away, how does he expect to keep himself that way? Or herself? Right, little warriors. Whatever. I believe you got something we've been waiting for, yeah? Yeah, I've got the needles right here. So I'm guessing you're in charge of this dragons now. And not Scuzzball? You would be guessing correctly, ma'am. We had ourselves a special election recently. Scuzzball lost. And now with his little baby he brought us, we can have a proper celebration. We're gonna blow your neighbours away, dragons. If I can just figure out how to attach this damn record needle. You're doing it wrong. Let me show you how. Well, well, clever little thing, aren't ya? Definitely some proper training happening with you scrappers, I can tell. Looks like we got what we wanted, man. And deal's a deal. Here you go. Best mind-blowing stuff of the street right now. Believe you me. And speaking of the streets, I suggest you keep up with that fine training you've been doing with those ninja babies of yours. Cause something tells me bartering ain't all that's gonna happen between us when I will pass across in the future. Yeah. That was a not so veiled threat if I ever heard one. Whoever this Jigsaw guy is, and wherever he came from, I'm guessing Texas, from his accent, he's definitely a new wild card to be taken seriously. The Pearl Dragons have always been an unpredictable threat, but a threat that has not only been a sloppy one. They may then mark on the city for sure, and in my friends and family lives too, but other than a few expectations, a mark that's been easily overcome. But if this Jigsaw guy is able to add military structure and control to that mix, well, like I said, a wild card we need to give serious attention to. Dead serious. Needless to say, I got the kids out of there as soon as I made the exchange with Jigsaw. He seemed focused on the jukebox at that point, so I took advantage of a diversion to the moose before things got out of hand. One thing's certain, there's no way Jigsaw is going to let his soldiers forget they got their butts handed to them by a quarter or pre-teen ninjas. Speaking of, maybe I'm biased grandma, but our little turtles were awesome. Those gangbangers didn't even know what hit them. Nice job, Sensei. Mikey would be so proud. Luckily our next stop was with law enforcement. In a manner of speaking, let me tell you a little about Detective Richard Dick Miller and his longtime partner, Detective Frank Cobbin. If ever there were poster boys for the term usual idiots, it's these guys. Long before the dark days of Rockahorata reign over New York City, these two so-called New Yorkers' finest were on the take. A lot younger than they are now, but just as corrupt. We were making serious banks, shaking down citizens over every stripe, crooks, creeps, store owners, photo cops, you name it. There were equal opportunity grifters hiding behind the badge. And the very fact that they played both sides of the fence was the only thing that stopped my guys from taking them down. When you're in the war, you take your critical intel anywhere you can get it. Jigsaw was right about that. And as hard a pill as it was to swallow, we all knew Miller and Corbin, crooks as they were treasure trove of street info for a price, of course. Like I said, useful idiots. When Hiroto took over New York, like a lot of us, Miller and Corbin went underground. But when we formed the Resistance, those two took on security jobs at a sub-training speakeasy and kept their constant scam alive. New jobs, same old swindle. For 16 years, Hiroto and Baxter Stockman Singers were the iron boot version of law enforcement in the city. They were gone after Michelangelo helped us take Hiroto and Stockman down, but the power vacuum is sure to follow. Hiroto's fall, crime city was not going anywhere, so the first order of business was to reactivate an official police force, which also meant whether we like it or not, we need an experienced cops, good and or not so good, that we could find help to help us get the police department up and running again. And it wasn't too long before our old friends, Detective Miller and Corbin, answered the call. Their old grift became the new grifts, playing any side they can, making themselves both criminally despicable, yet strictly indispensable. Drinking on job, Detective Corbin? You think that'd be against department regulations? You'd think that. This is deja vu or what, Miss Jones? You slinking around in the shadows with 4 mysterious friends in town? A lot smaller friends this time though. Your breath reeks, dude. You know, manners. Well, it does. These friends are my grandkids. They're spending some time with me today while Casey Marie's busy with other business. Grandkids? Don't ask, don't tell, partner. We already know about your kids' other business. Hot Dave with Officer Joro wannabe, yeah? How did you? Ain't much get by us on these streets, Miss Jones. You know that. Smoke bothering you, twerp? Smoking is bad for you. Better toughen up, kid. This whole city's bad for you. Speaking of a city, you remember a scumbag named Joe Hades? Yeah, unfortunately I do. Oh, my boss, my late friends, and I banged heads with more than once before the Foot Clan took down him and his crew. Why? Well, words out, but he's not so down anymore. Matter of fact, he's back in the city and looking to get his old operations up and running again. Which is Leatherpearl Dragons. They've got a new guy in charge trying to do the same thing. Yeah, we know, Jigsaw. Punk's a threat, sure, but he's not Joe Hades, and the Dragons ain't the Mafia, not by a long shot. Okay, no more freebies, partner. That's our stash, Miss Jones. Yep, supposed to be the best in town. We'll be the judge of that, and wait a sec, this ain't right. Nothing but powdered in here? Where's the chocolate glazed I asked for? Don't ask me, you're getting what I got. Now, the kids and I are on the clock, so yeah, partner, on it. A word of advice, keep the contents away from open flames and sparks until you're ready to use them. And whatever you do, don't ask where we got them. You should know by now, Detective Miller. I never do. I thought police are supposed to be heroes. That's what I said, G. That's what I thought, but those yucky men weren't heroes, were they? An unfortunate kiddo. I don't expect you to understand right away, but someday you will. All you need to know is that cops are only human. Some are good, some not so much. All I know is those old dudes need breath mints, not donuts. Chocolate. Heroes. They come far and far between, but somehow in my long, strange, blessed life, I've always been surrounded by them. My wonderful mum, the love of my life. The brothers and father I never had. My baby and my grandbabies. Always there for me, always around me, always protecting me. Always. The main reason I couldn't skip the black market today, even if that meant bringing my grandkids out into a big, scary, beautiful city for the first time, you guessed it. Heroes. When Baxter Stockman destroyed our headquarters with his Mauser bombs way back when, it was for the surviving striker who drugged me out of a rubble and saved my life. And as I was soon to learn in hospital, the life of my unborn baby as well. And throughout my recovery, one person was always there, lifting me up, cheering me on. Commander Avalone. A former Marine and a former New York City cop, Commander Avalone left a comfortable and hard-earning retirement to be one of the first to join Splinter Striker. Even before Hiroto brought the dark times to New York, Commander Avalon knew who the worst threats to the city were, and who were its best defenders. And when those dark times did arrive, it was Commander Avalon who helped me turn what was left of Splinter Strikers into rock-bottom resistance. In time, the resistance grew, as is our responsibility as its leader. But one thing never changed. Commander Avalon was always loyal by my side. Ally, mentor, friend, hero. There you are. I was starting to worry you weren't going to make it. Sorry to relate, Commander. There's no way in the world I missed this, but +1 had to be changed up a bit last second. I see that. Looks more like a +4 of the little ninjas I've heard so much about. Sergeant Uno reporting for duty, sir. A ninja and a soldier. Colour me impressed. Well, come on in. The party's just getting started. They got way cooler stuff in here than even Tinker 2 had. Look at all the food. Sergeant Uno? Seriously? Whatever. And here's the man of the hour and his lovely wife. Look who's come to see you take over full command of the resistance, Commander Sagazor. Pretty sure they're here to celebrate your retirement, sir. Hi, April. Oh wow, these must be Casey Marie's little tail ninjas. Yep, duty as charged. Allow me to introduce you. Uno, Mojo, Odin, and Yi. We've heard so much about you kids from your proud grandma and mama. It feels like I already know you. Do you know how to fix things? I sure do. Just like me, except I fix people. I'm Lieutenant Zaragoza, but everyone calls me Duck. Speaking of Casey Marie, what's she doing? What's she up to today? We'll take with Officer Wannabe, if you can believe it. About damn time. Roger that. I don't think that's such a good idea, big guy. Uh-oh. But I'm thirsty. I hear you, man, but that bowl's full of special punch for grown-ups. That's okay, I'm almost 13 now. Okay, kiddo. Why don't we take the good sergeant's advice and get you a punch from the other bowl? Okay, Grammy April. Thanks, Mrs. Jones. Little dude's already up to 25 pull-ups and hasn't even broke a sweat. Hold on, can dolls even sweat? Wait till you see how many push-ups I can do. You look like you're jamming it out. What? You got in your deck, kiddo? It's 9-inch nails and Joy Division mixtape. Classic. Well, looks like our young warriors are having some fun together. Be nice if that's all they've ever had to worry about, having fun. In a perfect world, speaking of, what are your big plans for retirement, Commander? Nothing specific other than lots of reading and lots of slipper wearing. I'm sick of Death to Combat boots. How about you? Seems like your daughter got a good grip on all the ninja stuff. Be a good time for you to slow down too. Maybe. But being grandma keeps me hoping most days, so not sure if slowing down is an option yet. I have thought about doing some writing though, maybe just a journal, to start see where that goes. But first, I'm going to send you off with a bang, my friend. A lost day. That's what my husband used to call days like today. Days when we would step away from all the craziness and violence that seemed to constantly surround us, and just get lost in each other. So, you think we can do this again, Casey? Hang out, I mean. To be normal for a little while. Yeah. I really like that, Joro. Me too. To be happy. Check it out. Whoa. So crazy beautiful. I miss my beloved husband so much. But I know he's looking down on me, and he sees I kept our tradition alive for our family. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Because today was most definitely a lost day. The very best kind. Wow, that was a really amazing story. Yeah, I don't really know what to really say about it. It was just so great. Just seeing more stuff with the turtles. Everything about it was just so great. And yeah, I don't really know what else to really say about it. It's just, I won't say near perfect, but yeah, it's just so great. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you do some, please share. Let's just grab another stuff. Goodbye, yo. Bye.